Grace and peace to you, sisters and brothers. Amy Wilson Feltz here. I am the pastor of St. Paul's United Methodist Church in El Paso, Texas. Thank you for joining me for coffee this morning. I look forward to this every week. I talk to you quite a bit about my children because they are my greatest teachers right now, but I wanted to talk to you this morning a little bit about my husband. His name is Jason, and he truly is a dear person, one of the most kind and thoughtful and patient people I have ever known. I'm very grateful for him. He has always been this way ever since I have met him. It's one of the reasons that I fell in love with him. But he reminds me frequently how consistent he is in this behavior, how this truly is part of who he is, being so thoughtful and patient and kind. You'll see behind me some beautiful flowers. Jason gave these to me on Friday for no reason at all. And this is not an unusual thing in our relationship. He's been doing this since we were dating. He'll bring me flowers just because he knows that I like them, because he likes to see the way my face lights up when he walks in the room with fresh flowers just for me. So he had some errands to run with the car maintenance on Friday, and he came back with these flowers. And of course, I couldn't see my own face when he walked in the room with these beautiful flowers, but I could see the faces of my children. Augie and Natalie were paying attention, and their faces lit up when Jason walked in the room with these flowers, and they began to express joy. Oh, look at the beautiful flowers. Oh, look, Mommy is receiving flowers from Daddy. Daddy bought Mommy flowers. So this was a moment of joy that we experienced as a family, and it really got me to thinking about how we can build up our community, our families, our faith community, other groups of which we are a part. There's this great verse in Hebrews chapter 10, and we have read it recently in some of our sermon work together. This is chapter 10 of Hebrews, beginning in verse 23, and I'd like to share it with you this morning. Let us hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who has promised is faithful. And let us consider how to provoke one another to love and good deeds. Let us consider how to provoke one another to love and good deeds. Now, these verses are written in the context of building each other up in a faith community, of meeting together, of worshiping together, of reading scripture together, and encouraging each other in a faithful way of living. So I'm applying them a little bit differently this morning, but I think there is a connection here because our community extends to the relationships that we have in any realm. And there's a lot of provoking going on in the world today. I think many of us would agree with that. We are provoking each other in many different ways as Americans right now, especially in our political season and dealing with a pandemic and the social unrest that is very clear in terms of racially motivated violence and injustice. So there's a lot of provoking, a lot of stirring up of our souls. I don't see a lot of provoking to love and good deeds, at least that we are sharing, that we're talking about. I know that it happens. And so I wanted to share with you some stirring up of love and good deeds in our family, and really invite you to think about ways that we can continue to stir each other up or provoke each other to love and good deeds in our community. I think this could be really helpful for us, especially as we're dealing with isolation and loneliness and in some cases anxiety and depression, because Jason is a faithful person. He is thoughtful, he is kind, and it seems to come naturally to him, but he's also very intentional about it. He cultivates his relationships with intentionality. He pays attention to the things that bring people joy, and he lives into that, and he facilitates those expressions of joy because it brings him joy to do that. And he offers a wonderful example for me and for my children in that as well. And so I'm just wondering if we could think about ways that we can cultivate intentionality simply by paying attention to each other and what brings joy in each other's lives. I have another example. I really enjoy reading, and I've been reading a series by Louise Penny for several years now because I'm slow to read the novels with everything else that's going on in life. But Jason is the one who purchased the first book for me, and now when I'm reading them, he pays attention, and when he sees that I am getting close to the end of one of the novels, he will just order another one. So it's just waiting for me when I am ready to pick up the next book in the series. It's that kind of thing. He does millions of those things in our lives on a daily basis. And I'm so grateful for that. He's teaching me something. He's teaching my children something. And I hope that I can share that lesson with you in a way that you find encouraging, and invite us all to be intentional in cultivating joy and provoking each other to love and good deeds this week and beyond. It's a beautiful way for us to be faithful in this spiritual journey. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to being with you again next week. Grace and peace.